You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nasty. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of them have the nerve to be disrespectful and talk about how you're not clean, or you don't look a certain way, or you a hoe, or you dirty, or you stinky, but they're the one who left the smell behind. Like, because I see my rapist, I see them every day, and they are like disgusting. They are truly disgusting people, most of them. Like, the ones who are, decent people, they clean up after themselves. You could tell they're clean. But the ones who have no integrity, they are some of the most nasty motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. Like, shit all over their shoes, like kind of like a baby, a newborn baby that doesn't know no better. They're like toddlers that never grew out of that phase mentally. A lot of them be having shit all over their shoes, shit all over their clothes. Some of them, they be like, they lose control of their bowel movements. So some of them shit on themselves, piss on themselves, and you could smell it. You know what I mean? And I'm not one to dog somebody out, but this is just one of those situations where I've kind of been forced to, because they talk so much shit about me on a daily basis. Like, say for instance, if they were to sexually assault me and I just so happen to be on my menstrual cycle, like, they'll make inappropriate comments publicly about me being on my menstrual cycle, and it's like, well, I'm not ashamed of that. I can't control that. Like, if I'm on my menstrual cycle, so what? Like, so fucking what? We're like, this is not like, we're not in 5th grade. Like, this is not the beginning of sex education. Like, these are grown, like 40, 50-year-old, 60-year-old adults talking like they're younger than 10 years old. Like, it's ridiculous. It's pathetic, really. But it's like, I'm not ashamed of being on my cycle, because there's nothing I can do to control that. I'm not ashamed of that. It's natural. But you still continuing to carry out a sexual assault while I'm on my period, not only is it dangerous, but it's unsanitary, and it's completely insane. And you think that by talking about it to body shame me makes you look good, when it makes you look desperate, and it makes you look like a disgusting pig, a disgrace. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but some of them are the most disgusting, I mean disgusting people I've seen a pig clean up better than they have. Like, they're so disgusting. I've seen raccoons clean up nicer than them. Like, they make bottom feeders look like they got OCD. I'm dead ass serious. They make bottom feeder animals look like they have OCD. How nasty and dirty they are. And I've had to put up with it for so long, because I'm not the cleanest person in the world. I am not the cleanest person in the world. Sometimes I get lazy. But in the privacy of my own home, as long as it's not a biohazard, so fucking what, right? But I'm not the cleanest person in the world. But I've seen some messes that have almost made me throw up, because it was so dirty and nobody was doing their janitorial duties. Like, it was so dirty, like flies everywhere, shit everywhere. Like, there's no reason why when I set a pot on the stove that there should be a shit stain right on the counter right next to me. Or if I sit down in a chair and there's shit everywhere. Like, that's disgusting. That is gross. And I would not want somebody to come in my house with it nasty like that. Like, that's not even said. Like, you walk in there and you probably bound to catch corona in there. Just walking in somebody's house. Because the reason why, that's probably why the pandemic is why it is right now. Because some people, their place is so filthy and so nasty that you can smell their house from the outside. There's no reason why, if you're on the 25th floor and I'm all the way downstairs, I should be able to smell your fucking apartment. There's no way in hell. But some people are that nasty. And I'm just, because a lot of them be disrespecting me. Like, they be foul about it. Disrespectful. Some of them make fun of me for having leukemia. Some of them make fun of me because I'm pregnant. Some of them make fun of me because I was forced to transition when I was a little kid. And my parents forced me to transition. And I didn't. And I told them, I was young enough to tell them that I didn't want to be a girl. Like, I didn't want to transition to a girl. And they still violated me. And they still forced me to do it, despite the fact that I told them I didn't want to do it. So my free will was taken away from me. That doesn't mean that I deserve special treatment over somebody. What am I trying to say? That doesn't mean that I deserve special treatment over somebody that made a choice to be transgender. I'm just saying that it just adds on top of the other stuff that they've done to me. It's just another thing to add on top of it. The fact that they forced me to. All the medical I'm basically trying to explain to people how deep the corruption really is. Because it's not just judges or security guards or family members or maybe like some teachers or some daycare workers, nurses, so on and so forth. It's so much more to add to what I have already shared, what I had experienced, on what I experienced. It's so much information. That's why these videos are so long. But I try to chop them up and make it a certain amount of time length sometimes, because I know it's a lot of information, and some people may not want to watch like a 2-3 hour, however long it takes. But I mean, I probably could chop it up. It's just right now I'm having a little bit of difficult time because I have an iPhone and I have a security lock on my iCloud, so I can't log in right now. So I can't download any apps like Cash App. If somebody wanted to donate some money, I can't download any apps at all because I can't get into my iCloud. If I had known that I would have been security blocked, I would have just got an Android. But I didn't know, because when I've logged on to my iCloud, when I hear loud noises like that, I get distracted. So it may not be loud when I like replay the video, but I'm close enough to where it's like loud in my head. It's really loud. But no, I was just gonna say that when I logged into my iCloud in the past, I didn't have no problems because I had my iTunes, and you gotta put in your iCloud information and stuff like that to log in. And iTunes and iCloud, they're connected, so if you log into one, then they acknowledge it, because it's one whole account. It's just a different app, like iTunes, and then like say at the App Store or iTunes Store. You know what I mean? It's just different apps, but the same account. So I've never had no problems before. I've never had any problems with Apple and the security lock. I've never had that problem before. And when they put, like, say if I forgot my password or whatever, they'll ask me another question like, oh, well, when's the last time you did this? Or when's the last time, like the security questions. I answer those just fine, and then there's no problem. And then they give you the option to change the phone number if you don't remember the last one. And that's only happened to me once. But like I said, I've never had this issue before, where when I didn't remember the phone number, they didn't give me another option. So I was completely blocked off, and this is the first time that this has ever happened to me. Like, the first time. I've never had any issues with Apple. I've been a loyal Apple customer ever since I was about maybe like 12 or 13. 13, I think, or maybe I was 14. Oh, I think I was in the 8th grade. So yeah, I was 14. Yeah, so I've had an Apple account ever since I was 14 years old, and I've been a loyal customer since, and I've never had any problems with Apple. I love Apple. I prefer Apple over Android. It's just a preference. But to each his own. And like I said, I've never had any issues with Apple. I don't have any complaints with Apple. Apple has always been smooth sailing for me. I think I might be triggering them again. I know they're doing their job, but I can't help but acknowledge synchronicities. But like I said, I've never had any issues with Apple. Apple has never given me any problems. Anytime I've ever, if I call customer service, they answer right away. Most of the time, I've never had to wait more than maybe 15, 20 minutes. And on a busy day, I think I've had to wait 30 minutes, but that's because they had almost 100, people on the line that were on the wait list. And I called in midday. I think it may have been 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. No, I think it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I just called randomly, and they had a whole wait list, and I had to wait 30 minutes, but I just, made a 3-way phone call, and then once he picked up, I was like, oh, okay. It went by faster than I thought. It felt like 15 minutes, but it was actually 29 minutes. So that's the longest I've ever had to wait, and it was really no issue. Like I said, Apple is on top of most of their stuff. They're on top of it, especially customer service and the system and stuff like that. They have a whole bunch of apps that's I fuck with. Like I said, I fucks with Apple. I fucks with iCloud. That's just a preference for me. But if I can't if I can't afford an Apple product, then I will get Android. But then I'll find some way to get an Apple, because that's just what I prefer. But being locked out of my iCloud, it does kind of suck, because it's been real difficult for me to upload videos. So that's why I've been MIA for so long, because my other Google accounts has the exact same security lock on my other Google account. It has the same security lock on there. So I'm blocked from my primary Gmail account, which has most of my content, and then I'm also blocked from my iCloud account, and I'm blocked from my student account. Yeah, I'm blocked from that too, because I finally mustered up the money to go back to school, and as soon as I had my money ready to go, my account was blocked. And it was one of those situations where I had spoke to somebody about it, but they were I think they said I was on academic probation, and no, this was after. Sorry, this is after. No, I spoke to them, and I don't know. I think they said that they don't know what they can do because it's security locked. Now I remember. Yeah, this is after I was on academic probation, but I had gotten off academic probation, and I pretty much got the quota for how much the class that I was going to enroll in was going to cost, and how much the book was going to cost. And I finally had the money, and they told me to come back when I'm able to have the money to afford to enroll the class, and I can afford to at least rent the book for the class. Then they'll go ahead and resume with my academic status. And as soon as I had the money, I'm telling you, as soon as I had the money to enroll in the class and rent the book, my student ID, my Lone Star student information, it was security locked. So I think I talked to somebody about it, and they were saying, well, it's a security lock, so I don't really know what I can do for you. And I guess I just kind of left it at that, because I kind of had that hunch that it was a let a higher power handle it type of situation. And that was the first time that I ever experienced the security lock, was my college account, my college ID information and all that. That was the first time I experienced a security lock. And what's a security lock? It has to be